Good evening, everyone. It is now 6:30, and we'd like to call our Peoria Public School Board of Education board meeting to order at 6:30 p.m. Madam Secretary, may you call the roll?
Mr. Diaz. Mrs. Howard.
Here.
Mrs. Rose.
Present.
Mrs. Ross.
Here.
Mrs. Wilson.
Present.
Dr. Wilson.
Here.
President McConnell.
Here.
We have 7 present.
Thank you. May we all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Acknowledging our boards, I think we recognize those at the beginning of the month and nothing has changed. So thank you to our respective schools for the boards. Announcements from the board, and we will start with Mr. Diaz.
We don't have
Oh,
announcements.
you don't have any announcements? Does anybody have any? Okay, all right. Dr. Bell?
Okay. Just a few announcements. Want to remind parents of the first day of school for students on the regular calendar is Wednesday, August the 5th. Students at the Knoxville Center for Student Success actually started school today. Went by there, had a wonderful gathering, 36 out of 39 students there. And also to remind parents that students at Valeska Hinton will start school on July 22nd. Also want to remind parents to make sure they get their children's physical and immunizations up to date. Also, that October the 15th is the deadline for compliance with this requirement. Also want to remind parents that Peoria Public Schools has a clear backpack policy for all middle school and high school students. And also that cell phones must be out of sight and inaccessible to students during the school day. And lastly, I want to inform all parents and district staff members that on August the 3rd, that is the day of this year's convocation for all staff members. And we're going to hold it in our newest facility, the Dome, where all district staff members will gather. And this year, we're going to do things just a tad bit differently in that we're going to have 3 different successions of convocations with Manual Region schools, as well as the Peoria High Region schools, and of course, Richwood's staff as well. So please be on the lookout for additional information regarding the logistics of which region's staff members will attend the first convocation, the second convocation, and the third convocation at the Dome. That's all I have.
Thank you so much. I kind of like that. District presentation, we have winning program, Mr. Carl Cannon. And thank you for being here, Mr. Cannon.
Thank you, Madam President. Members of the board, I have joining me here at the podium, Mr. Tom Marshall.
I am not Carl Cannon.
No, he's not.
I'm
Okay.
taller.
Yeah. So Tom's going to lead this for me, if you would.
Yeah, thanks.
Go ahead.
We worked on a great presentation on PowerPoint. Take our word for it. With 20 plus years with Accenture, I know a good PowerPoint, and it was a good one. But we weren't able to, I guess, put it up tonight, but we'll do fine. We'll talk to what we were going to say. All righty? So tonight we were invited, and I'm excited. I've been a board member since 2018 at Elite. And when Carl said we had a chance to speak, I said, let me add. I love to talk about Elite wherever I'm at. I talk to Kiwanis, I talk to Rotary, I've talked to EDCs and various organizations, and informally and formally. And to have a chance to talk about Elite community outreach and to talk to this group about Elite is always a pleasure of mine. So thank you very much for being able to lead the charge. So I get to tag team a little bit with Carl tonight on that topic. What we're specifically, I think we were asked to talk about was the winning program. And so we're going to focus on that tonight. Winning, as I like to say, it was Carl's attempt to figure out how to, and you see this if you work with the government, take an acronym and then slam in words that mean that acronym. And so what he came up with is what I need now in 9th grade Again, it looks great on a PowerPoint, and if you worked with the federal government at all, they always work backwards from an acronym to get to what they need. But what I thought, especially early on, as we were talking about what we wanted to share, is the winning program is now in its 5th year. 5th year. And this is where, if these kids wouldn't get promoted from 8th grade to 9th grade, they're going to fall back. And we're going to talk about that in a little bit more detail here. But if they don't get promoted and they stay in 8th grade again, this is when, and you all know as educators and in the education system, this is what hurts them, is being held back, especially at this time in their career. So we're going to talk about that a little bit, but there are 3 main takeaways I would like to make sure that we hit tonight. And those takeaways are, first of all, this winning program works. It works. 5 years it works. We get these people in, these juveniles, they come in. This year we had 20, 18 graduated. They met all the academic qualifications. These were students that were delivered or requested to join us as part of Peoria Public Schools. And 2 of them, and we'll talk to that in a little bit, did not meet our standards. And we will not reduce our standards for a few people because it will hurt the many. So we do have them work with us and their caregivers to sign contracts that they know what they're going to be getting into for the 4 weeks of the winning program. So that's the first takeaway, is that winning works. Then the value of what we deliver versus the cost. As I understand it, the Peoria Public Schools paid us $31,400 for our efforts. For personnel alone, it was over $41,000 the cost to Elite. The total bill was $49,000. So what you got for the value we delivered of these kids, and I'm sorry, I'm old enough that I call them kids, that these juveniles are getting promoted is worth it. And yes, there are strong discussions as a board member, and there are other board members here tonight. We talked to Carl, and he always figures out a way to get us the money, sometimes tardy, but mainly from donors, to fill in that gap. In this case, from $49,000 to the $31,500. But he is so intent on helping the youth in this community. And as you'll hear, the crime rate for adults in Peoria is going down, but it's going up for the juveniles. And the third big takeaway is the impact we're having, not just on the youth in this area, but on their families and on the community. So those are the 3 big takeaways that we have. So the problem that we are addressing specifically with this program is the 8th grade promotion. They were given to us / asked to come to us as part of the academic performance, but they were also gapping on their attendance in 8th grade and their student behavior and in their classroom engagement. So it was academic, yes, but they had one or more of the following: attendance issues, student behavior, and classroom. We go pick them up during the summer school. They don't have an excuse for why they didn't attend. We go their door, knock, knock, knock.
Door to door.
Door to door. Pick them up, they spend the day with us, and then we drop them off. So as you can tell, that's why we're doing fine. And why winning exists, there was research done by the University of Chicago that shows that students retained in the 8th grade are significantly more likely to leave school before promotion.
That's true.
And that means dropout rates.
Yeah.
And dropout rates means streets. And with crime going up in the juvenile world, that's a problem, especially in our community, and that's what we wanted to stop. We wanted to stop the surge. And the surge actually, if you look at our community, February last year, we're going to talk about what's going on. A 15-year-old attempting to break in, steal a car in the River West area. While attempting to get that car, they shoot, and a 9-year-old becomes a victim. The victim, it doesn't just end there. He recovers, the 9-year-old. But the PTSD with the 9-year-old, the surge of juvenile issues and crime and violent crime. Now, the community decides to go RICO. That's adult, that's Gotti, that's Capone, and we're using RICO. Then 2 weeks ago, an 18-year-old gets 90 years. We can't have these young eighth graders dropping out on the street. We had to do something. We can't just leave it to social promotions. We can't leave it to the streets to raise our kids. That's why we had to do winning.
Those are just some of the examples. They're in the press. You see them all the time. And that's why we talk about that. We did have a summary slide of all these things where we pulled all these various, not just those incidents, but overall, there's been more violence, more juvenile offenders. The recidivism rate for juveniles is going up. One of my roles as part of ELITE is being on the Juvenile Justice Council. I think I see Chief Boone. How you doing, sir? Good. And I interface with the probation department, the juvenile detention center, et cetera. And they shared a study, a white paper that had been done by the University of Illinois, Chicago. And in there, they said a number of things after 38 pages, but one of them they called specific attention to. Our crime statistics for juveniles is significantly worse than East St. Louis. When we all heard that in the room for the first time, we all were like, then East St. Louis? They're known for being one of the worst areas in the state. And Peoria is getting to that reputation of having worse crime than East St. Louis. That brought even more attention to the fact that we have to continue to do something with the youth that we have.
That's bad news. Here's the good news. Winning. It exists here in our city. What I need now in ninth grade, and to the rescue, Peoria Public Schools. Here we go. So we took 20 and we say we got 18 to make it all the way through. That's good news. Better news. Of that 18, we took a platform that Peoria Public Schools purchased, IXL. We did math, we did ELA, English Language Arts, and they soared. They soared from day one to 3.5 weeks later. We had 1,009 successful lessons at an 80% percentage rate. Proficiency rate, 32% of which mastered those courses over 3.5 weeks. That's a remarkable percentage over a short time rate. How do we do that? We partnered with a community partner, another not-for-profit, not trying to do it alone. I studied a group over years at CUC, Southside Community United for Change. You know her as Martha Ross. Been doing it for years, taking kids in the summer, giving them a healthy occupation of time. We call it work equity. We took that concept, combined it with winning, combined it with academics. We put the kids to work, paid them a low wage, and showed them the value of work and academics, and they soared. Again, 1,009 IXL courses over less than a month. Unheard of, but yet we accomplished it. It was phenomenal. Be happy to answer any questions you might have at this time.
Board members, if you'll raise your hand, and then so the chair can recognize you for your questions.
You want to go first? You want me? Can I go first?
Yes, Ms.
Okay.
Rose.
Hi, both of you. Good evening. I do have a couple of questions. I think my first one is, could you specify what the standards for graduating were? You referenced that you had academic qualifications. Could you specify those for me?
The academic qualifications were to meet those course rates. The academic, We didn't even start with the work equity until they mastered the academic portion. The first week was all academics. You couldn't even get to the workforce equity until you mastered that first week. The first day, the orientation was 100% participation with the parent-student orientation. Parents and students had to sit through that orientation, understand all the rules, which meant you had to master the academic portion first.
Okay, and then when you say academics, is that specifically just IXL, or was there additional curriculum or other things you used
Great
besides?
question.
Okay,
A heavy dose of SEL, social emotional learning.
Yeah.
Most of the students were with us because of social emotional issues
Yeah.
that blocked the learning. So we had to get around that so learning could occur.
okay, and then could you email us the PowerPoint we aren't able to view tonight? I would love to see
Absolutely,
it.
I'm so sorry about
No,
that.
it's okay. I just would still, you put in hard work and I would love to see it. So if you wouldn't mind emailing it to us, I'd love to have it. There was a document in our board packet where you guys gave us a week by week IXL scores, but I think there might have been a typo because it said that you went up from 181 to 181. And so I would love like a weekly IXL report. Is that something you could send
I
us?
have weeks 1 through 4. So
Okay, I would love to see that. Is that in your PowerPoint?
Yeah, no,
Okay.
but I can get you that.
Okay,
Yes,
thank
ma'am.
you, Mr. Cannon. Those were my questions.
And you'll see in the PowerPoint though, that an academic day, and you'll see an academic day plus a workforce day. So they go to work early, avoiding the heat.
Yeah.
And then they come out of that sun and they went to work. And you could see by a week how they come out and go right into the academics.
You actually reminded me, I had one more question. I would love to see like a invoice or a breakdown. He said that it overall cost you guys $49,000 and we only gave you $31,400. And so I would love to see what all those costs were so that maybe we can work on fully funding you in a future year if that's the case.
That would be appreciated.
So if we could see what those $49,000 worth of expenses are, that would help us.
Yeah.
So could you send that too, please?
It's going to be personnel and you'll see the expense sheet.
Yes, thank
ma'am.
you.
All right, next board member with any questions? Dr. Wilson?
I was just gonna say, I appreciate the hard work, appreciate you coming and kind of giving us a little background on the winning program, and appreciate all the hard work. So, thank
Thank
you.
you, Dr. Kim,
Thank you. Mr. Diaz?
Thank you very much. Appreciate all that you're doing and impacting kids throughout our community. So really wanted to start off, is the baseline that you reference was just them on their first shot at IXL? Is that what you're using as the baseline? And then the mastery of a situation or of the ELA and math is what you're saying is then they are ready for ninth grade?
Sir, we wanted to use a platform that the district already had. Now, the one the Safe School uses was called Accelis. That wasn't going to work going into the ninth grade. So I checked with the district, and the one we could use was IXL. So yes, sir.
Right, but I'm asking, did you have was it developed? IXL is a great tool, right? My kids have used it and all that, but it's not what the district or what we use to actually present, mastery or direct numbers to anyone, because it's just a platform, it's a tool to be used to help teach, but it's not how we are judging and baselining our students. So I'm trying to figure out, was there any educational professionals that you hired to help develop a learning plan and, goals for each student, or was it just the IXL was what you used to baseline and to determine that these students are now ready for ninth grade?
We had professional teachers from the district who take the individual IXL levels that the students were already at, and they were challenged to move off of that level to the next level, to the next lesson. Individually, they moved And you could see that in the report you got, how they moved individually off of where they were to each individual level to the next one. That's where they started, where we picked them up and carried them forward from lesson to lesson.
So how many licensed teachers did y'all have?
2,
Okay. Now, you said there was 20 that started. The original request or ask was to support 30 students, and you completed with 18. Based on the numbers that I saw, there were at least, well, there was at least 6 did not master more than 5 skills. 1 student did not master at all. There was 9 that did not master more than 5 skills. Do you believe that with that, the numbers that you presented to the board, do you believe that that then puts them ready for 9th grade?
Do you understand that these are students that didn't master anything all year? And to have them master 1 was pretty spectacular. But also, when you looked at that report, all of them were proficient at 80% in everything you saw in that report. 1,009. That's pretty spectacular.
Understood, but in order for it to be recorded, they have to be proficient at 80. It doesn't record if they're at 60, right?
Or
Like,
they wouldn't have been on that report.
so again, you have students who didn't, I mean, we can pull up the numbers, but at the end of the day, I'm asking, and to your point, these are students that were not mastering what they were presented with in 8th grade. They had discipline issues, attendance, whatever, right? Do you believe that in the 3.5 weeks you had with them, that now makes them ready to be fully participatory and successful in 9th grade?
I think you should consider the fact that these students hadn't been proficient the entire year, hadn't even tried all year long. And the fact that our team with those 2 educators could get them motivated to take it on and become proficient, and 32% of them could master it, was a pretty phenomenal task.
So again, do you believe that your 3 weeks with the students
Yes.
now sets them up
To
for
answer your
success in 9th
question,
grade?
They're ready,
Okay.
yes.
How many of these students were already in your elite program prior to the winning?
With IXL, 0.
How many were in the elite program during the school year who then attended the winning program?
I mean, 3 or 4 is what I'm hearing, but none with IXL. We hadn't had that platform.
Okay.
All right, thank you. Does someone else have a question? Mr. Diaz, are you done now?
No, I just have a couple more questions. So how many hours of class time, you said that you broke it up and one day was this and one was, how many hours of class time did the students receive during the 3 weeks?
6.5 hours a day.
Okay. And then and this is, again, we started with the ask was for 30 students. You started with 20 then. Did we open it back up to 10 more, or was there any other way that we could have gotten more students involved?
Understand, we receive referrals from the buildings. So if we didn't make it to 30, it's because we didn't get 30 referrals from the buildings.
Okay,
Those come through administration.
okay. All right, that'll be fine, thank you.
All right, thank you. Yes, yes, Ms. Ross.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Cannon,
Thank you.
and thank you, sir. Tom,
Thanks, yes,
I want to just highlight the fact that there's been some controversy, some information in the public that is absolutely incorrect. And I'm not sure who's really, putting that out there. but I saw somewhere where it said that the money that we gave the elite program was paying kids. And that is absolutely not true. As Mr. Cannon said, for, I don't know, since 2013, we've been running these programs for children. Every year, the Southside Community United for Change, and I thought we had a video, so we don't have the video either? Okay,
That's in the-
we'll show it next time. We have been recruiting students from all of our schools on the south side particularly, but we include Harold B. Dawson and sometimes Manual. Now, all these students are within our school district that are also in the winning program. So we're serving the same people. What I want to clear up is that we have recruited last year about 100 kids, and we worked 6 weeks, 6 hours a week at $10. They get paid $10 an hour. We also have supervisors with them that we pay $15 an hour. Now, this year, we only had about 70 kids, and 18 of those were from the winning program because they go to our schools. I have always believed that Mr. Cannon and his board and elite take the kids that we throw away. Now, I'm not saying that those kids were thrown away, but they were not ready. Why in the world would we be sending kids to ninth grade with 5 Fs and 1 D? So they were not ready. Okay, and I believe that over the years, they have been getting kids ready. This is not a new program. The Urban League had this same program. They didn't call it winning, but they had to get 8th graders ready to pass the Constitution. And they did it for years until they stopped doing it. So nobody's really working with these kids that are expected to go into the 9th grade unprepared. And what's that gonna do? They're not gonna succeed. But anyway, we pay them. They work 6 hours a week. We pay them every 2 weeks. If they come to work both days, 2 hours a day, 3 days a week, they'll get $120 from our program. So can we clear this up that no money from the district has gone to pay any children?
I just want to clarify that I understood what you said. So the Southside Community United for Change paid the students, not Elite and the winning program?
That's correct.
Exactly.
Okay, thank you for clarifying
Yeah.
that.
We have just, more than just them, we have kids from all over. And they're between the ages of 12, we're the only ones that hire 12-year-olds, between the ages of 12 and 17.
Hey,
Okay,
could I-
thank you. Yes,
Madam
please.
President, winning is not an elite program. It's a district program.
Right.
The district asked us to take when the Urban League must have dropped it. So we've taken up that battle cry to not let social promotion be the way forward. Don't believe in it. I believe they should. And these young people, some of them are sprinkled in the room. Please stand up. They work their butts off. You should be proud of the effort
Yes.
that they had to put in, and we didn't make it easy. Not at all. Because they're gonna have to go to the 9th grade, and they're gonna have to put in effort. And we should all have high expectations, because they're worthy of it. Thank
And the
you.
neat part about that is when they go to 9th grade, they have people who are going to care about them as they go, and they can call on them
The mentorship.
from the program if they need help.
No, hold on. Ms. Ross, are you done?
I'm done.
Okay. I just want to make one observation. I think it's prudent that we understand that sometimes a child, even as an adult, sometimes you need one experience that can change the trajectory for the rest of your life. We all come with different backgrounds, different parenting, different levels of poverty, and so many other factors that really impact learning. Family structure, family infrastructure, expectations. And so we're building relationships with people in this community that gives these students and additional population a resource of strength, It is support for families and for parents. And I think this is awesome because not all of us grew up with our mom and dad. And when you understand that, when you didn't grow up with your mom and dad, you have a certain empathy for that because it takes all of us to make the world. And a lot of times it has to do with opportunity. It has to do with capacity. And it also has to do with the compassion that is needed for everyone. And that means the least of these. And for those of us who have donated our time over the years and mentored children in our neighborhood and our kids' friends, it's about community value. And we know of a time and an era in our lifetime, at least I can say that families were families and our neighborhoods supported one another, and my neighbor and down the street and around the block and at church. Well, family life is totally different now. And the demand on people for working and trying to make ends meet at minimum wage is a real life struggle. And when we understand that, when we respect it, then we look at it through a different lens. And that is, how can we as a public school entity support everyone? And that is our district motto, that is our mission. It's about families, it's about students. And I know that 5 years from now, when these kids graduate, they will have a testimony and they will refer back to one summer. I met somebody who really gave me a different worldview and helped me understand how important education is. And so with all of that in mind, I want to say personally, thank you for picking up the pieces. It's not easy when you're working with other people's kids. Of course, when I'm raising mine, I have 3 sons, I could pop them because I'm their mother. When you're dealing with other people's children, you have to have a stronger capacity, a tolerance, and a love for just reaching them. And that's totally different. And so we celebrate you and your staff and the board, and for everybody who takes time to think outside of the box and remove themselves from the issue and look at it through a lens of, what if that was me? And what if I had an golden opportunity to meet somebody who would pour into me, not only at this level in my life, but I have this relationship that I may reach out to Mr. Cannon when I am an adult and when I'm having children or whatever. So I celebrate this, and I thank you for your diligence. And just notable, if you will send that PowerPoint and that information that was requested from Board Member Rose, if you'll send it to Cammie, to our board secretary.
Yes, ma'am.
And she will make sure that the board gets it. Thank you.
Absolutely.
And I appreciate you. And Mr. Diaz, did you have one more comment?
If you would include, I know you said this was your 5th year, your statistics for the graduation rate then of the students who have been through the last 5 years as well, that would be great. Thank you.
Right, and then some of those questions, Mr. Diaz, would you please email that to Cammie so that she can be the mediator, and so that he's not required to remember that from the conversation, but that your question is clear. So if you'll email that to Cammie, and she will process it with them, and she will make sure that the board receives all of the information. Thank you kindly.
Thank you.
All right, our next item is item number 6, presentation by audience. A person who wishes to speak during public comment of the District 150 board meeting are expected to request this speak card. And when you complete the card, we do ask for your name, your address, and a phone number so that one of our staff can follow up with you. Notable, if we get a incomplete card, of which I do have one, and I'm gonna pass it to that person, that they can give us that information so that you can greet us. And we do this for legal reasons. Whoever's speaking, we need to know your proximity to the school, what you're saying. We need to be able to follow up with you, and we need to contact you, and that goes to accountability. Thank you. Our first speaker tonight will be Kiera Covert.
Can you
Just a second,
Sure.
just a second, please. Our first speaker tonight is Kiera Colvert Jackson. May you please meet at the mic? Thank you.
Could you just clarify, the person whose card is incomplete, will they still be allowed to speak?
Yes, ma'am.
Hi, my name is Kiera. I was just wanting to speak about how the program has impacted my son. When he first started, he was going through a difficult time and he was facing a lot of obstacles. From the beginning, the staff never stopped encouraging him. They constantly reminded him that he mattered and that they could see his potential and that they wanted him to see his potential. They never gave up on him, even during the challenging moments. Over time, he's built strong, meaningful relationships with all the staff. And our family is incredibly grateful for that. They had patience, so much patience, and support. Even outside of the program, we had people come to events that he had going on, and just for them showing up, that mattered. He's learned so much as far as expressing how he feels without becoming or coming off as aggressive or disrespectful. He's learned how to acknowledge his triggers before he gets to that moment and to be able to communicate that in a respectful way. But the program has been it's been great for us. And I just wanted to let everybody know that.
Thank you. We appreciate it. Our next speaker will be Tiffany Williams.
Hi, everyone. I am the mother of Elijah Williams. He was kicked out by the board for District 150 and told he wasn't going to graduate. The lead program picked my son up. He was going back and forth. He had struggles. And they picked him up. They were mentoring him as a village would. Where I'm from, we had a village where one couldn't pick up, somebody else picked up. They helped, they loved, they encouraged, and they showed them the way. The men and the women in the elite program helped my son with his anger, with his focus. He wasn't academically challenged, he wasn't focusing. Being under those men and the women there, he has changed a lot. Not just at home, but he wants to get up and go to school. He wants to get up and see change and be change. And I, as a mom, as a single mom, I appreciate the elite team for what they do for each and every one of our children. Because without them, they wouldn't be graduating. And I'm grateful. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next speaker will be Mrs. Jackie Petty.
Good evening,
Good evening.
Dr. Bell, President McConnell, Vice President Ross, and members of the board. My name is Jackie Petty, and I proudly serve on the Board of Directors for Elite Community Outreach. Before joining Elite's board, I had the privilege of serving the citizens of Peoria for close to 30 years as a trustee for the Peoria Park District. During that time, I was serving when Carl Cannon was hired by the Park District, and I was there when the Park Board voted to support what was then a new concept, Elite Youth Program. At that time, ELITE was a mentoring program focused on high school students. It emphasized character development, soft skills, personal responsibility, and helping young people secure meaningful summer employment. Some people may have wondered then, as they may wonder now, why the Peoria Park District would invest in a program that operated primarily in our schools. The answer was simple. The students in those schools were the same young people coming to our parks, using our facilities, participating in our programs, and applying for the jobs with the Park District. Their success or failure affected our entire community. We recognize that investing in young people before they reached a crisis point was not just good for those students, it was good for public policy, it strengthened families, neighborhoods, and ultimately our city. And we saw results. We watched students improve their attendance. We watched behavior improve. We watched grades improve. We watched young people develop confidence, accountability, and employability. Many of those same students went on to work for the Park District and became positive contributors to our community. That is why I believed in ELITE then, and it is why I continue to believe in ELITE community outreach today. What disappoints me in that this organization now finds itself in the position of having to defend work that has positively impacted countless young people and families over many years. Even more disappointing is that time and energy are being spent responding to misinformation and false narratives. Instead of focusing on the students who need these services, ELITE exists to serve young people who are often underserved, overlooked, and facing significant challenges. The students who enter these programs are not there because the path has been easy. They are there because they need another opportunity and because someone believes they can succeed. But ELITE does not simply provide another place for students to attend school. It provides structure. It provides accountability. It provides support. Students and parents both sign a covenant committing to do the work necessary to help that student successfully transition back into a traditional school environment. There are expectations. There are responsibilities. There is accountability for everyone involved. ELITE staff meet students exactly where they are, but they refuse to let them stay there. Every day, they challenge students to make progress academically, socially, personally. That is what effective intervention looks like. Every urban school district could benefit from a program like ELITE Community Outreach. Before every community has students who need someone willing to invest in them before they are lost to the system. If anyone on this board or anyone in this community has questions about ELITE Community Outreach, I encourage you to do what responsible leaders do. Go see the work, visit the program, talk to the staff, meet the students, speak with the parents, judge the organization based on facts and firsthand observation, not rumors, speculation, or misinformation. When you see the work being done, I believe you will understand why so many of us have supported ELITE Community Outreach for so many years.
Thank you. Thank you. We appreciate it. Our next speaker will be Devon Sidnor.
Thank you for allowing me to speak. First and foremost, I want to congratulate Dr. Andrews and Dr. Bell for their positions in District 150. Give them a round of applause. I work with Dr. Bell with CAR. I work with Renee down at Tree Wind. I've been a part of a bunch of different organizations. I've sat on many boards, okay? I love what Carl said. I used to mentor down at Manual. I'm retired, been retired almost 14 years. I give back. But I have a problem with what took place in the media with Mr. Diaz. Now, I get kind of passionate about what I believe in. I thought what you did was totally uncalled for. I really did. I mean, there's cohesion on any board, and I've sat on many a board. That was totally uncalled for, and I would like to know why you did what you did. You wanted to file the lawsuit. I'm being real now, okay? I'm not PC, I never have been. I call it like it is. Because I care about these kids. I care hard like Carl does, like Billy does. I care about these kids. I dealt with these kids at Manual, and you don't know everybody's situation. You just don't. You just make the assumption it don't work like that. You know, I used to do progress reports with these kids. A lot of them are struggling. And Carl made that mention of that. But they are, and you need to, you're sitting on this board, and you're new on the board, Mr. Diaz, you need to understand that. That's all I got to say.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Mrs. Sherry Cannon. And for the other person who did not complete the card, I can have security come and get it, so you can put your address on here for us, and/or phone number, and/or email, because we need to be able to contact
It's
you.
not required under the Open Meetings Act, so if you'd like me to file a complaint.
You can do that too, thank you. But you can complete the card, and it's a district rule, thank you. Mrs. Cannon.
Good evening, Superintendent Bell, President McConnell, Vice President Ross, and members of the board. My name is Sherry Cannon, and I serve as the Chief Financial Officer of Elite Community Outreach Incorporated. I stand before you tonight not simply to defend the organization, but to defend the integrity of the people who dedicate their lives to serving some of the most vulnerable students in the Peoria Public Schools. For months, employees of Elite Community Outreach have been subjected to false, reckless, and deeply damaging accusations on a Facebook page administered by board member Brenda Wilson. Anonymous individuals and people hiding behind fictitious names have accused members of our staff of serious criminal conduct, including selling drugs to engaging in an inappropriate relationship with children. Those accusations are completely false. We made the decision not to engage on social media because we believed that responding publicly would only fuel misinformation. We chose dignity over drama. We chose to remain focused on serving children rather than defending ourselves online. But silence should never be mistaken for weakness. There comes a time when good people take responsibility to speak the truth, and this time is now. Most recently, inaccurate information was regarding the salaries paid to Carl Cannon and myself. Those claims were based on IRS Form 990 filings that were misunderstood or presented without necessary context. Elite Community Outreach changed its fiscal year from January through December to July through June, resulting in a shortened reporting period. Comparing that abbreviated filing to a full 12-month filing created an inaccurate and misleading picture of our compensation. Board members take an oath to serve with integrity, honesty, and respect for this community. That responsibility should not end when a board meeting adjourns. It extends to every public forum where a board member exercises influence. When a board member administrates a public forum where false accusations against educators, nonprofit leaders, and employees are allowed to remain, the issue is no longer simply about social media. It becomes an issue of public trust, ethical leadership, and accountability. Leadership is measured not only by what we say, but it's also by what we permit. Facts matter, contacts matter, and truth matters. Elite Community Outreach has partnered with Peoria Public Schools since 2005. Until July 2022, the Peoria Park District provided the operational support for our programming. When Carl Cannon retired from the Park District, Elite became an independent nonprofit and continued providing services to Peoria Public School students. We refuse to give up on them. And today we work with middle school students who have been suspended or expelled, students who are often labeled, overlooked, or given up on. And again, we don't give up on them. Our staff understands these young people because many have overcome adversity themselves. They build relationships, restore hope, involve families, hold students accountable, and continue mentoring them long after they return to their home schools. This work is not easy, it's not glamorous, but it changes lives. Every day, staff comes to work committed to helping students become productive citizens. Instead of being recognized for that work, they have been forced to endure false accusations that attack their character and question their integrity. No employee serving children should have to work under that cloud. No nonprofit partner should have to defend itself against baseless accusations simply because misinformation is allowed to spread unchecked. I'm asking you to lead. I'm asking you to uphold the ethical standards expected of every member of this board. I'm asking you to affirm that truth matters, that facts matter, and that organizations serving our children deserve to be treated fairly. Disagreement is part of democracy. Criticism is acceptable. False accusations are not. Public service demands accountability from all of us, especially those entrusted with governing our schools. Elite Community Outreach will continue doing what we have done for more than 20 years, showing up for children who need someone to believe in them. We will continue serving, we will continue leading, and we will continue standing for the truth. Thank you.
Thank you. And our last speaker, and thank you for your cooperation, and it is a district policy. Thank you. Mrs. Carrie Alms.
Thank you for this opportunity to speak. Thank you for listening to and taking the appropriate legal action requested by previous public speakers about the legal necessity to publish a legal notice at least 30 days prior to the holding the budget hearing, and that the actual hearing will now be held on August the 10th. Thank you for having the budget more accessible for the public's review by posting it online, and perhaps Dr. Curry would be willing to provide where the public can specifically find that later in the meeting. Stone Soup. All community members, whether elected or not, paid staff or volunteers, and everyone else are making our community stone soup. It is imperative that we all contribute our best, and that when mistakes are made, we individually or collectively accept responsibility and make any and all necessary corrections. These are the hallmarks of healthy leadership and collaborative community building. Now for an ask, that the board would change their policy about not yet approved minutes, and that the board would bring the board minutes from the June 22nd, 2026 meeting back and make the necessary corrections. Those minutes do not accurately reflect what was asked by the public speakers about the non-publication of the statutorily required legal notice for the budget hearing. The comments that were attributed to me were, Carrie Alms agreed with Mr. Diaz. She also suggested that the C's, S-E-I-Z-E, until the proper process takes place. Legal confirmed that the meeting could proceed. Well, legal said that the meeting could proceed because of the meeting notice, but not because of the missing legal notice for the budget hearing. I also went through and presented the information from the ISBE about the necessity of publicly noticing a public legal notice for the people to know about the public hearing. And while it's difficult to be the secretary, I've been the secretary and currently in the secretary for 2 different organizations, including an international organization. When you don't write what people say, it's really not good. Also, thankfully, board members ask questions. There was a board member who unequivocally and repeatedly claimed that a legal notice had been published when it had not, and then continuing that the legal notice rolls to the next meeting for a budget hearing. I kind of felt like we had stepped into Aldous Huxley's Brave New World, where events were constantly being rewritten. A board member repeatedly asked for legal to answer the question, and a board member continued to repeatedly interrupt and provide incorrect information. If a board member insists on a legal notice or whatever document or action has occurred when it hasn't, it can't be brought into existence by repeatedly saying that the legal action or document exists or it has occurred. And also, when the communication is stated as a fact that it can be true or false, rather than an opinion, it can border on defamation. Even after one of the public speakers provided the legal notice search list, there was continued insistence that the legal notice had been published. There's no reflection in the second comments about the legal notice again in the minutes, and there is nothing about Dr. Karat answering that they would look into it and get back to Mr. Diaz and myself about whether the legal notice had to be published. It's okay that you made a mistake, but own up to it and reflect it in your board meetings, minutes, okay? And change the board policy that not yet approved minutes are available for review for the public prior to approval, similar to the City of Peoria and the Peoria Park District. And it's also very confusing about what was communicated about the prior administration relative to the public facility sales tax referendum. A board member stated that it was the previous administration that had brought this forward. Well, when you look at the documents, it was Mick Willis that signed it, and it was an auto pin because all of his other signatures are a hand signature, and it was signed by Dr. Bell. I think this is an impingement on Dr. Karat's reputation and previous administration staff. Dr. Karat publicly said the June 22nd meeting was her last board meeting, so how would she even be involved with the preparation of the July 1st board meeting agenda? And again, that documentation shows that that didn't happen. Also, in my previous conversations with Dr. Karat, who I've known for many, many years, she did not support the public referendum. Having known her and the path that she was involved with the previous public facility sales tax referendum initiative, she built a coalition and made the case for the why the dollars were needed. Electeds should accept the responsibilities for their mistake and not blame the previous information. And another kind of defamation-ish comment. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Dr. Bell, do you have anything to share?
Yes,
All right,
ma'am.
thank you.
Yes. I'll keep my comments very brief and concise. Of the 6 speakers, 5 talked about elites, the effectiveness of elites winning program this summer. That's why I can sit here unequivocally in front of you and share with you, I've seen firsthand the great work that Mr. Cannon and his team did with those students. That's why when I was invited by Mr. Cannon to be the keynote speaker at their promotion ceremony, I did not hesitate. And if I remember correctly, I asked the students to be introspective, to kind of envision themselves as 12th graders talking to their 9th grade selves, and conversely, their 9th grade selves kind of saying, okay, 12th grader, you got this. You've learned some skills, you've learned some deregulation or de-escalation types of, methodologies with our elite staff. Now use them. That's why I can say again that I have personally seen the great work put in by the students or the teachers with the students at the elite program. So, as I said, I think with one of the media representatives, money well spent, money well spent. With the other response or other comment by Ms. Alms, I could just say thank you. We will duly note what you've shared with us, and I know that Dr. Curry has ensured that the notice was put in the Journal Star. I believe it was on May 3rd, or July 3rd, I believe. July 3rd. And so notice was given, and so, duly noted, and we'll, going forward, make sure that it's publicly available when due. Thank you, Madam
All right,
President.
thank you. And I just want to make a point of clarity that the comments by the previous administration was strictly for the sales tax, and that came from the regional office. And there was a detailed email that was sent out to the board members via Dr. Bell back in February about the collaboration and the conversation with the regional office with neighboring Peoria County school districts and why they were asking for it. No comment was made about the budget because we were told as a board that the public notices were complete, and that's all. So thank you so much for your comments, and we appreciate your your cooperation and just going forward. If you must speak, please fill out the cards so that we can follow up with you. Some of these comments are worthy of a follow-up conversation for accountability, not only for the audience speaker, but also for the board. And we do not shy away from a conversation, a healthy, truthful, intelligent conversation. So thank you so much. Yes, just a second.
Take them cards, Bill.
Yes, thank you. All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Cannon. No. No, you can say something at the end under, under board presentation, okay? All right. So our next item on the agenda is approval of the July 1st, 2026 minutes. Motion to approve. Okay, Madam Secretary,
Discussion.
do you have a question about
Well,
it?
I made several requests for Cammie to, am I allowed to enter into discussion? I made several requests for Cammie to make changes, and she has not had time to make those changes. So,
And she will work with legal for that.
correct. So we can either wait for those changes, or I will be voting no.
Okay, that's fine, thank you. Okay.
So can I ask a question as well?
Sure.
So I have not seen the corrections that Ms. Rose has asked for, and that's not been communicated to us. The minutes were just given to us or published last night. I do work during the day, and we got a packet on Friday, and I'm not sure why the minutes couldn't be ready then. If we could just hold off and in the future, get the minutes to the board members on a more timely basis so that we can review them and be able to offer additions, changes, and modifications, I would appreciate it.
Yeah, legal has to see them, and sometimes that's a process. Fraser, do you have any comment towards that?
Sure. We do assist with review of the minutes. The minutes that are at question here, are you talking about we're talking about the July 1 minutes?
Public session minutes.
Public session minutes. I understand that there's a dispute about what has or has not been included, or there wants to be an addendum, so it covers, I think, the spirit of what was discussed. I will tell you that OMA's a little vague on what needs to be in there, but it doesn't have to be every specific conversation that was had. But if there's a question, if the question is we want to see the minutes and we want to work with the board secretary, I think that you can approve the minutes now, or we can just table them. There's no requirement that we approve them right now and approve them the next time.
What is the pleasure of the
So
board?
the thing that I thought was missing from the minutes, just for everyone's transparency, is they did not record who voted for the president and vice president. And I spoke with Jen, and she said that they should be in there. And Cammie is going to include them. They are just not currently reflected in there. And so that is why I don't feel comfortable approving them yet.
So we can approve the minutes with the necessary corrections. That's very standard. So we can process it that way. But legal, all of the minutes and the tape recorder and some of that it's always verified. Now, what cannot go in the minutes are our narratives after the fact. And we all have retrospect. When we go through something, we look back. Many of us look at the YouTube channel and we see and we hear some things. We may even spark a different opinion. And maybe what we said and what we intended could be two different things. But the purpose of minutes are to document the action for clarification. And as Fraser said, some of the detailed conversation, it's on the record because it's on a YouTube channel and it lives forever. But I think we just want to be efficient, so we can approve minutes with the necessary addition and correction. And when those are made, then you will see them.
Are you just asking for the
I requested that Cammie add the roll call vote to
Okay.
those two items.
Right, which is
And Jen
okay.
said to add them, and
Yeah.
Cammie said she will. There's no no one's
There's
fighting
no
about
issue.
it.
Yeah, there's no
Correct.
other issue. I
It
think
just
it's
has not
the
been done
names.
yet, and so I'm not voting on something as it stands because it is not correct as it
But-
stands.
So
But
the
you
question
can
still,
vote just a minute and let the chair recognize you, please. You can approve minutes with the necessary correction and amendments. We can do that. That is legal.
We can table.
Or we can table it for the satisfaction of the group so that we don't split hairs, because we do have some other things that we do need to deal with. So, Mr. Diaz,
So can we table them? Because
said
I
that.
think we do.
Make the motion.
Okay, I will move to table these until the next meeting, and they are published with the next packet so they can be reviewed 48 hours prior to the meeting, please.
thank you. There is
May I,
a second? Okay.
Discussion.
Is there a discussion on the table?
I'd like to add something, yes. I would like to ask that when we do have a board member or multiple board members making changes, if you could send the amendments to the entire school board, because I've noticed I made some changes on the last one, and I don't know if anybody else saw those. So the way that I understand OMA, if we do make changes and the minutes have been amended, after we voted on it, then we should probably be re-voting on it again so all the board members can see the amendments. We should not be voting and approving minutes that we've never seen, and sadly, that's taken place.
Well, it's more so when
I mean, it
minutes.
just happened
with-
for our last meeting because she made some of the amendments the next day after we voted on it.
Thank you. But we
And
can
it's
make the
public
motion.
for
Thank
the
you.
public to see, but
Excuse me.
we didn't see it before we voted on it.
Thank
So I'm
you.
just asking if we
I'm
could do
clear
that in
with
the
that.
Point
future.
of order.
What I'm saying is you.
I was just
when you-
finishing my sentence.
Well, you said it twice, but
Thank you.
with that, you can say, approve the minutes with the necessary corrections and amendments. That's very typical Robert Rules of Order with different organizations, and it's for that reason. But we have a motion on the floor.
With
We need to
discussion.
move on, right, so.
So this is the
This is,
discussion.
yes, we are, and now I'm calling the motion back on the floor so that we can move forward. Do you have some additional question or
Yeah,
comment?
I do have a question because
Yes,
this has
ma'am.
happened multiple times. So there's been people at this horseshoe that have made amendments, and Cammie has made the amendments, but the rest of us haven't seen them. I've done it, and you guys haven't seen it. I know Christina's done it, and I never saw it. So what I'm asking is, from now on, Cammie, is it okay, when you make these amendments, could you send the amended copy to the entire school board so that we've all seen it, so that we are following the Open Meetings Act, and we're approving minutes that we've all seen?
Now, do we normally post those? Do we upload those
We
after?
do after the vote.
Right, no, I'm saying in general, thank you. Okay, so then they are uploaded for everybody to see, but if we can go the extra mile and send out the final edits, that'll be great. Motion on the floor.
One more thing for discussion. Also, could we possibly get the minutes the day that you send us the packet? I noticed our packet came on Thursday, but I couldn't find the minutes until last night on Sunday evening before, so,
Brenda, that was part of my motion.
okay, thank you. Okay, so.
All right, thank you.
like to-
Motion on the floor. You have a question or
No,
statement?
I just have a clarification. I don't think there's any place that records every single word people say in the minutes. I've never seen that before.
It's
And
not
we have
typical.
legal here who reviews those for clarity and for accuracy. So I just, I don't know if anybody can do that. No.
Chair recognizes Diaz.
So what our attorney said is very true. Minutes are a reflection of the spirit of what happened at the meeting. They can be as robust or as minimal as you would like. You're 100% correct. But if we're not all seeing the same thing, or if someone says, hey, I wanted to get this added, and not everyone's seeing that, and how do we know what we're voting for and what we are agreeing was discussed or what the spirit of the meeting was? The ask is just that when we publish the meeting minutes, if there's additions, or if there's time for us, first of all, to review them, offer comment and addition, so that when we come to the meeting, at this point, I would say, hey, I would like to amend the minutes because you left this out. We could all agree, we would all know what we're working with. But from what Ms. Wilson has said and just what we've seen is that that's not happening. So we're just trying to make it clear
Okay,
so that
thank
the
you.
people of Peoria, the people who voted us in here to be responsible agents of the school district, live up to that commitment.
All right,
I want to
thank
say,
you.
I hope the people that voted you in here voted you on this board to make sure that our children get the education that they need. That's what I really hope that everybody is here for.
All right,
you.
thank you. We have a motion on the floor to table the approval of the July 1st meeting minutes.
For
Madam
addition.
Secretary, for the roll.
Mr. Diaz. Mrs. Howard. Aye. Mrs. Rose.
Aye.
Mrs. Ross.
Aye.
Mrs. Wilson.
Aye.
Dr. Wilson.
Aye.
President McCall.
Aye.
7 ayes, motion carries.
Thank you. Information items, superintendent update.
The only update I have is I shared earlier in the announcements that students, this is the first day at Knoxville Center for Student Success. Would love for audience members to swing by and take a look. Of course, definitely visit with the principal, Mr. Eric Thomas. Great teaching and learning is taking place even on this first day with students there. So definitely avail yourselves to see what's going on behind the walls there at Knoxville Center for Student Success.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Financial update, Dr. Curry.
Thank you. So I don't have any major financial updates as of yet, but I thought it would be important to the status of the amended budget process, which we talked about a little bit here. So it was published in the Peoria Journal-Star on the 3rd of July. It was placed on the district website the following Monday and at the front desk. To the question earlier, if you want to go to the website to find it, you go to the About Us section, then Finances, then Current Year Budget. And when you open that folder, you'll find the amended budget. So those were the things that were still hanging out there from last meeting. Go ahead.
Just to clarify, I didn't find the amended budget. I found the amendment that were, like the hearing notice that we're going to be reviewing the amendments on August 10th. Is that correct?
Should not be.
It should be the amended
It
budget.
should be the amended budget.
Okay,
So
thank
let me
you.
double check that, but that was what was put up initially.
Okay, thank you.
All right, any questions about expenditures over 2,500?
Mr. Diaz.
Yes.
Just had a question for you, Dr. Curry, with the finances. Noticed that we had a large payment to CLA. Are we complete and ready with the last year's audit?
No,
those two?
sorry. No, the audit is still in progress.
So we will still be paying for someone to
Yeah, you
CLA.
pay, you pay as you go, for lack of a better term. You pay for the work that's in progress until it's completed, and it's still in progress.
All right, thank you.
Yep.
All right, report of request under the Freedom of Information Act, status of such request.
All right.
Dr. Bell?
Yes, ma'am. Since our board meeting report on June 22nd, 2026, we've received 5 new Freedom of Information Act requests. Pending request status, there were 8 pending requests noted on the June 22nd, 2026 board report. There's 1 request currently open. And as a summary, since January 1st, 2026, we've received 47 requests for this calendar year at a total estimate cost of $2,350.
All right, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Consent agenda, action items. Mrs. Martha Ross, thank you.
Action items today include, number 1, gifts to the school district. Year-to-date, $145,393.52. Payment of bills, number 2. Number 3, payment for travel. Number 4, human resources report. Number 5, Stella Systems, Inc., contract, imaging, conversion. Number 7, Center for Prevention of Abuse, Aaron's Law Mandate Program, Plan and Budget for 26-27 school year. Number 7, contract for a children's home therapist to provide therapeutic services. Number 8, contract for Family Core school liaison contract approval. Number 9, FY27 contract renewal between Dr. Andrew Morgan and Peoria Public Schools. Number 10, international governmental agreement with the Peoria County Regional Office of Education, the Safe School Program. Number 11, IXL for middle school differentiated learning. Number 12, administrative contract approval. And that is the entirety of the consent agenda.
Thank you. Motion to approve or pull
President
one item
McConnell.
for a separate, hold on. Motion to approve or pull one item for a separate vote. The chair recognizes you.
May I please pull item number 8?
Yes. Is there any other item that needs to be pulled for a separate vote?
Yes, I would like to get 6, 7, and 10, please.
Okay. Thank you. Is there any other? Okay, motion to approve all the items except number 6, 7, 8, 10, and 11?
No, just 10.
Oh, just 10, okay. Motion to approve all the items except those 6, 7, 8, 10.
So moved.
Second.
Second?
Hey, Madam Secretary, for the, well, there's no discussion on the items that we are approving. I will catch
No, no,
those
not
individually.
I mean, the one we
Okay,
have now.
yeah, thank you. Madam Secretary, may we have the roll, please?
Mr. Diaz,
Yes.
Mrs. Howard,
Yes.
Mrs. Rose,
Aye.
Mrs. Ross,
Aye.
Mrs. Wilson,
Aye.
Dr. Wilson,
Aye.
President McCall,
Aye.
7 ayes, motion carries.
Thank you. Starting with number 6, Mr. Diaz, you have questions about number 6?
Yeah, as part of the contract, I'm trying to figure out, is this a firm fixed price contract? Or as part of the language, it talks about the grants and partner donors. Would we end up paying more if they don't get all of the grants and donations that would be scheduled as part of this?
Yeah. I'm not familiar with the latter part of your question, Mr. Diaz, but I can tell you from last year's contract to this year's proposed contract, it's $200 less. So it's not a fixed amount, it's actually gone down. And the other component of your question that you asked, can you repeat that one?
Just, the language in the contract says that that they would make up whatever the difference was between us and the actual cost with grants and whatnot. My question, I guess, really is, if they didn't get enough grants, would we be on the hook for additional costs?
Let's see, Dr. Bond, are you able to come up and answer that one for me?
Somebody from Aaron's Law is here.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, from, that's over that.
Is this on? There's a great question. That is our price. So they were just trying to paint the picture of, hey, we have all these other sources, and so, but I appreciate your question, but yeah, that is the price, and we have not historically been charged any more than that, than what they put in the contract. Yeah, thank you.
All right, we'll entertain a motion to.
With that, I would move to approve this, please.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Madam Secretary for the roll.
Mr. Diaz,
Aye.
Mrs. Howard,
Aye.
Mrs. Rose,
Aye.
Mrs. Ross, Mrs. Wilson,
Aye.
Dr. Wilson,
Aye.
President McCall.
Aye.
We have 7 ayes, motion carries.
Okay, item number 7, Mr. Diaz.
Yep, again, on this one, I actually have a couple questions. On the third page of the contract, it references PCHS. I'm trying to figure out who PCHS is, because it's not part of any of the other acronyms in there.
Dr. Bond, are you familiar, or do we have anyone from Children's Home?
And it may just be a crossover from an old contract.
Yeah. We want to make sure we have accurate information. Yeah.
She's not certain what that PCHS means. It's some sort of system where they keep their information, and she's not sure what it stands for.
Well, and that's, I'd like to get clarity,
So we
because it
can
does relate
absolutely-
to
Yep.
the student staff privacy and everything else.
Right. We can get that.
And then, if I could ask you, it says, prior to renewal, there's a clause for a billing section to make adjustments. This is my language, not theirs, but to make adjustments as necessary. Will we need to have, again, a settlement payment at some point if Franklin and Glen Barton overspend or have
No.
more billable hours or anything?
No.
Okay. And then, how many of our schools have a therapist besides these two then?
This is the only two.
This will,
Yeah, just these.
two provided by Children's Home, but in general, there's no other therapists or this position at a school?
No.
Okay. And then are these licensed therapists?
Yes.
All right, thank you very much.
Yes, you're welcome.
With that, I don't have any more questions. I would move to approve with a follow-up on that PCHS.
On the
being-
clarification
Yes.
of the acronym. Okay, there's been a motion on the floor.
Second.
Thank you, Madam Secretary, for the roll.
Mr. Diaz?
Aye.
Mrs. Howard?
Aye.
Mrs. Rose?
Aye.
Mrs. Ross?
Aye.
Mrs. Wilson?
Aye.
Dr. Wilson?
Aye.
President McCall?
Aye.
7 ayes, motion carries.
Thank you. Item number 8.
I know I pulled it. I don't necessarily have a discussion. I just wanted us to vote for it separately so that there could be a separate roll call for it. Maybe someone else
Okay,
does.
any questions on item number 8? Mr. Diaz?
Yes, so with this, we are covering 15 sites. I'm trying to figure out, we have more than 15 schools, so do all schools not need a liaison, or why is it that we're only covering these schools?
So, great question. You have a lot of great questions.
Thank you, I tried.
So, basically, when the schools are developing their contracts for the following year, their budgets with their funding, they talk as their universal leadership team, and they have kind of a menu of choices. So Children's Home Therapist is somebody that they could choose to use their funds to support. Family Core, Family School Liaisons is another kind of item that they could, choose. And so those teams then make that decision of how they want to spend their money, and that's why it's not every single school that has a family school liaison, because each school gets to, independently determine if that's a need they have or not.
Yeah. It's
That-
called site-based leadership.
It's site-based, yeah. They have the autonomy to decide that.
So then, are there full-time union employees that fill this same position in another school because the school chooses to use
No,
PFT employees versus others?
no.
Okay. And then every school is making that decision, but do they all have the budget and capability that if they deemed it necessary, they're not having to say, well, I'm not going to care about this group of kids because I have to focus on this liaison position, and that 55,000 comes out of the budget that I would have taken care of the hungry kids. I don't have a good example, right? But
Yeah, I know. It really is truly based at the school level, so it's hard for me to say, like, oh, somebody didn't choose Family Core because they needed some other something. I don't know, that happened specifically at a certain building. I didn't get that indication from anybody. It was literally just, hi, we're having this discussion, and those that wanted Family Core figured out how to make that happen. I do know that.
awesome. Okay.
Yeah.
And then in section 2 of the contract, service emotional learning can be taught and measured is their wording. Will we as a board get a report on that outcome and sent to us prior to the next contract renewal or along the way
Yes,
when you
they-
get yours?
Yes, they send us reports. Mr. Tyler's here if you want more information, but they do keep data in what they're doing, and then they do generate reports, and definitely we can get that to you when those times of the year come.
Okay. And are these licensed or certified teachers or professionals?
No, not necessarily.
Okay. In section 2.3, there's a max caseload of 12 students. I guess I'm a little bit confused on with some of these schools having 300 or 400 kids. Are we saying that only that site committee has said we're okay with just having 12 kids being helped at a time?
So I'll have Mr. Tyler come here, and the reason is, come on, is because there's kind of two different avenues, and he can explain this better than I can, but as a family school liaison, there's kind of two different avenues. So on the one hand, they're really, think of kind of tier one when we think of social emotional learning. and supporting our kids' needs and their social emotional needs. So they're there on the tier 1 level, and they're serving and doing and helping and supporting anybody they can. But then they also have this other sort of side to them where they have a caseload. And you could speak more to like that component of their role.
Yeah,
Tier
these are more
3.
intensive cases, and so kids that are tier 2, tier 3 that have been identified as not doing well in attendance, not doing well behaviorally, not doing well with academics, and so these are kids that we will case manage up to a semester. They can be extended if they choose, but those are going to be the more serious, severe cases. And we're trying to connect them to resources in the community. So,
Okay,
that's-
while we got you up there, I appreciate
Yes,
that.
sir.
As part of the contract, again, in section 2.3,
Okay.
if a student moves schools,
Yeah.
then if the school they're moving to is not participating in this program, the language in the contract reads that child then would not have any support because the school that they're moving to has not gone with family court.
I have
Am I?
to look at that, but we typically do not deny kids, and ultimately, if they were to go to a different school, we've had this happen where kids move from a primary school in one side of town to the other, and we continue to serve them. And so, I read it differently in the contract, but it's been a while since I've seen that.
Okay.
But we would not deny folks service.
All right.
Even if they're at a school that we're not at. If we know about the need, we're very involved in the wraparound center, so we get a lot of information. I've been around a long time, know a lot of people, a lot of principals, assistant principals, teachers, so we're here to help, so.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
All right, motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
All right, motion on the floor to approve, Madam Secretary, for the roll.
Mr. Diaz?
Yes.
Mrs. Howard?
Aye.
Mrs. Rose?
Nay.
Mrs. Ross? Mrs. Wilson?
Aye.
Dr. Wilson?
Aye.
President McCall?
Aye.
We have 6 ayes, motion carried.
Thank you. And item number 10, intergovernmental agreement with the regional office. Who pulled that? Your question?
Yes. So, as part of the Safe Schools, RSSP funds, what have those costs historically been? There's no mention of any dollar amount or commitment by the district in this, so it makes me a little leery, right? It's not easy to then understand what our costs have been. One of the items, item 4, as part of other districts, my question would be then, if Princeville sends a kid to our program, are they writing grants and having that directed to the ROE and getting that same amount?
Yes, with the Safe Schools, every child throughout the county of Peoria is eligible to go. Rarely, and I think when I spoke to Dr. McKenna in my office last Wednesday or Thursday, he said the past couple of years, only 2 students outside of Peoria Public Schools has been assigned to the Safe School. But yes, it's open to all students throughout the county of Peoria.
And the cost versus the return from the state through the RSSP, does that cover our expenses?
Yes, as far as I'm aware, but I can get more definitive and granular by asking.
Yeah, I would appreciate that
ROs.
because it's not mentioned anywhere, and
Yeah.
without a budget, we don't know if.
Well, I do know, and I don't have the exact to the penny figure, but I do recall Dr. McKenna sharing in my office that it was $304,000 and some odd dollars this upcoming school year, if I'm not mistaken.
Cost.
Well, that's how much it's for the actual grant, but as far as costs, I'll have to get more granular information from him.
Yeah, and then as part of it, Peoria Public Schools is required to then host or hire a family support specialist with a shared position. is there any contractual language about employment obligations and anything else making them part of one of our unions or part of any other?
Not that I'm aware. Not that I'm aware.
Okay, so I would really like to find out what the costs and all that, what our exposure would be or has been historically before I'm comfortable entering into this
Dr. Bell,
agreement.
I do want to make one observation. So
Yes, ma'am.
this is with the regional office, which is Peoria County. And in the county, the student money follows the student. And that's the general practice. So if they're at Brimfield and they come into Peoria district, then whatever allocation, let's say if it's $2 every student, then that $2 follows them.
Yes, ma'am.
And so that's one part of the funding tool. But this is more speaking to a agreement with the regional office, and it's standard. We do this annually. There's no cautionary tale to it in terms of what it costs us because it's limited to the student allocation.
That's not part of the contract, right? The contract it requires us.
This is an agreement, intergovernmental agreement, which is the regional office and Peoria Public Schools.
Understood.
Okay,
Part of
thank
the
you.
agreement is requiring that we put money forth for this program, right? And that the ROE, any grants, anything that comes from the state would be sent to us. The question still remains, because we've seen it from the state of Illinois, doesn't fund us fully for darn near anything that they're supposed to. That if every student was supposed to get $10 and we're only getting $7, then this school district is still on the hook for $3 that we have to budget for and plan for. What I'm asking is that we understand what those costs and that exposure is prior to signing an intergovernmental agreement and saying that we're going to do it no matter what, because that's what we're entering into as part of this agreement.
One other observation is if the state gives us any grant funds, the grant funds go to the regional office and they do the distribution based on the need. So the grant monies do not come directly to Peoria Public Schools. It comes from a total pool for Peoria County schools of which the regional office of education oversees.
No, ma'am,
And
that's
they
not
do
what the contract reads. The
I'm
contract
making a-
reads that.
Excuse me, please let the chair recognize you, because we're not going to do the over-talking. The standard practice is that the regional office receives state funds and grants, and the distribution is dispersed to the district based on the need, based on the request. That's the standard agreement. So the grant monies that are coming to us is regulated through the regional office. Just a point of observation and clarity for anybody listening so that they will understand that those state funds don't come to us directly without the supervision of the regional office of education. And yes,
So as part of again, I read the contract, I understand. What I am saying is part of the contract, it says that yes, any grants, things that we write that would go directly to the ROE within 3 days, they will send it to us without taking any cut. I understand that.
thank
What
you.
I am saying is that we don't have any information if the money that comes in covers what it costs us to do this program.
Okay, you want to add some clarity?
Yeah, I want, that amount of money does not cover the program. Okay? That comes from the state, covers about half of the program, a little bit more than half of the program. But it doesn't cover the entire program.
Okay, so then what is your pleasure, sir?
So my pleasure is until we have what those financial costs are to the district, that we not enter into an agreement so that we at least understand what that half
Well,
is,
let
right?
me-
If,
Let me just say that, that part comes from the ROE, but still, we have the responsibility to have the money follow the child. That has nothing to do with the ROE money. The other money that we get from the state follows the child.
understood. I
So that's
100%
what makes
understand
us-
the money follows, right? What I am asking is the taxpayers of the city of Peoria give us, let's just rough number, $250 million, okay? And if we are committing $1 million to this program, but we only get reimbursed 600,000, $400,000 has to then come out of some other program that we can't do here at the district because we're covering the costs of the ROE running this program with us, or of us running the program with the ROE. What I'm trying to figure out is what that financial cost is to us so that we all know what that 50% that's not being covered, what that number is. That's not anywhere in this contract, and that's all I'm
Okay,
asking.
thank you. If you will, provide your detailed question for clarification to Dr. Bell, and he will funnel that to the regional office. And once the answer comes, Dr. Bell will let us know.
Yep,
and
absolutely.
Cammie,
Yes,
and,
ma'am.
CC us. So the item here, the motion on the floor is to approve the intergovernmental agreement.
There
we
is
need
no
to
motion.
entertain-
I would move to to table this until the next session when we have answers from the ROE.
So is there a second to that motion?
I have a question.
Yes, question.
The way I understood it, we had to approve this agreement to then look at the next step, which would be how much is the program going to cost? And so I guess my question is logistically, can we wait for answers from the ROE to approve this?
I would say yes, but no at the same time. No, that's a paradoxical statement. Expediency is of the nature here. So I know I'm going to be out of town the next couple of days, but I will make it a point to reach out to not only Dr. McKenna at the ROE, but also I'll ask Dr. Curry here if he can crunch some numbers ASAP, hopefully by tomorrow, and at the latest by Wednesday, to get the information over to Cammie to send it out.
And another observation, this agreement we need to have in place before August, our start of school. And our next meeting is the 27th.
Yes, ma'am, July 27th.
So I think we need to, I'm suggesting that we approve it so that we can start our school year the way it needs to be. And so I'm not supporting a table. So did someone second that? So, okay, so then there is no second on the motion to table. Thank you. Then I will entertain a motion to approve it.
So moved.
You offer the motion and you second? Second. Okay, Madam Secretary, for the roll, please.
Mr. Diaz,
No.
Mrs. Howard,
Aye.
Mrs. Rose,
Aye.
Mrs. Ross,
Aye.
Mrs. Wilson,
Nay.
Dr. Wilson. Aye. President McCall.
Aye.
You have 5 ayes, motion carries.
Thank you. Deliberation agenda, presentation and suggestions by board members.
I have a comment. Would that qualify?
Yes, you may.
So at the, Mrs. Alms kind of referenced it, but at the last meeting, you stated that the county school facility sales tax was put forward by the previous administration. And I just wanted to clarify that while Dr. Crod did the work in 2016, she did not support the county facility sales tax this year.
Thank you. Any other observations from anyone?
Yes.
Yeah, just want to say that product of the projects, the POP program, will be having their annual back-to-school book bag giveaway on Saturday, July 25th, 2026, from 11 o'clock a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Mecca Center of Peoria, located at 817 Armstrong Avenue, Peoria, Illinois, 61606. So if your student is in need of a book bag or other school supplies, please come on down. We'll have haircuts, uniforms, supplies, and book bags. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other observations from board?
I'd like to.
Go ahead. Okay.
I just wanted to thank Elite Community Outreach for the presentation tonight. I would honestly have loved to have seen a lot of that information before we voted on it. I learned a lot when we got our packet with the information. I didn't know what winning stood for. I had to look it up online. And I feel as a board member, it's good for us to have as much information as we can before we're voting on any type of program. And I want to say that I believe in the mission of what you guys are doing and always have. I know that This organization has been in our schools with boots on the ground doing hard work for a long time. It's hard, though, as a board member, when we have things in front of us to vote on with multiple, high levels of money. I would say over $750,000, almost $800,000, probably more. So when you guys can give us information, could you please give us some of it before we vote on it? Also, I was mentioned by name by someone. I'm not aware of some of the allegations that you're making, and I will look into that. But I will also say that I believe in freedom of speech, and I believe it's very important for people to have a place to communicate, and that's why that page is public. And I honestly wish I would have never felt the need to create that page, which was over 6 years ago. But taxpayers and parents who feel they aren't getting accurate information need a place to be able to speak, and it has to do with the school district specifically. So if something offended you or there was a false allegation made, I apologize. Some of the things you mentioned I've not seen, so I'm not sure that it's even there, but I will look. But if you'd love to have a meeting with me, Sherry, I would love to meet with you to clarify some of the things.
No, I'm not interested in meeting, but we do have screenshots.
Okay. Well, I'll go dig in tonight. I've been traveling, so I'll dig into it tonight, but
Yesterday, we have ignored this for months.
that's okay. But you addressed it, and I'm just letting you know I hear you.
Guys, point of
hear
order.
you.
So we're
I
not
hear
going to
you, and I
have.
respect it,
We are not
and-
going to have a conversation from the gallery. This is something you can continue with her after the meeting. Thank you. Is there anybody else?
That's not necessary.
Is there any?
I
yes.
have, did you have something? Yeah, I want, this is under presentations and suggestions by board members. Are we there? Yeah.
Yes, that's where we
Okay.
are.
Okay, one of the things I wanted to, bring up is that I would like to pursue the rule that we have a practice, we used to do the practice, we need to do it again. Anytime a board member requests large documents, a large amount of information from the superintendent, and all requests should go to the superintendent. But anytime you request a large document that's going to take away staff time, lots and lots of staff time, then that request needs to come to the board. It needs to be a board request. Individuals ask, questions all the time, but a large document, like the one was received was like 6 or 8 pages of questions. I mean, these are new staff people, and they're working through without a previous plan or updates, working through trying to get this district ready to open schools. And so how much, it would take too much time for a staff person to fulfill all the needs and go back, one said 5 years back and do the research on this and that. So I'm proposing that large documents, or, I don't know what you call large, but it should be a board request. It should be brought to the board, and the board decides whether we need that. And if it is okay for us to do it, then every board member should get it. It should be for the board's value, not to use, got you, whatever, okay? That's
you.
kind of what things are being used for, just to kind of prove somebody wrong or something. But I think that we don't have the time, or they don't have the time. I don't know about you, Dr. Bell, but I know that you and Dr. Renee is doing a lot of work.
Yeah, even on the weekends.
A lot of work, weekends
Even on
and
the
not, and then also with the CFO, I just don't see with the short time you've been here and the short staff that you have time to do large requests. That's what I want to, and if we have to make it a policy, we can do that too.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you.
Dr.
Thank you,
Wilson.
President McConnell. I just wanted to also share that on Thursday, July 23rd, 2026, the Fill the Fire Truck initiative will be happening. That's going to be at 1125 Westlake Avenue, Peoria, Illinois, 61614. That is Scott Howard and Chanel Hargrave Murray, who is instrumental in that Fill the Fire Truck. So if you need uniforms, book bags, haircuts, come down to Fill the Fire Truck as well.
And what's that date again?
That is going to be July 23rd, 2026. On Lakes Avenue.
No, it's at Tree Wind. It's
It
at
is
Tree
at
Wind
Tree
Park.
Wind?
Yeah.
Oh,
You
well,
could've
the
let
flyer
me
I have
announce
here.
it, you know,
yeah.
you just steal
So,
it from there.
Treewood Park.
Yeah, it's okay.
Mrs. Howard, would you make the announcement for us, please? Thank you.
On Thursday, July 23rd, is the Fill the Fire Truck Backpack Giveaway at Truin Park from 4 to 7. It's a joint event with Park District, Streets Belong to Me. So it's also kind of like a block party with food and games and a sprinkler to run through because it's usually really hot. Yes, the goal is 1,500 backpacks to give away. So please come on down if you need one, if you know anyone else who needs one. It's a great event. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Yes.
May I ask Dr. Bell, when is the district's distribution for book bags?
Yes, ma'am. It's so
Dream
ironic.
Center.
Yes, ma'am. Mrs. Ross, Vice President Ross. On Saturday, July 25th, from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m., there at the Dream Center, we will have the annual, I think this is the 21st or 22nd annual backpack Peoria giveaway of the clear backpacks and books for our younger readers to keep them engaged in literacy acquisition. So it's going to be on Saturday, July the 25th from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. there at the Dream Center.
Okay.
All right.
We
Thank
have
you.
no report from
Okay,
board
so we
committees.
don't have any board committee reports and those assignments. I've reached out to individuals to ask them where they wanted to serve so we can make it make sense, and that will be sent by Cammie this week. And any other questions from anybody?
Suggestions?
All hearts and minds are free. Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for being here.